Today's lesson is over learning target 4, which states, I can solve problems involving percent of change. Now in the last learning target 3, we talked about having an original amount and then that changing to either a new amount, whether that was a percent increase or a percent decrease. We went kind of through a formula that helped us figure out that percent of change. We're going to have another similar formula as stated below here, but the format of the questions are going to look a little different. So these ones are going to be more about just different numbers and values, and so we kind of need to identify what they're talking about in the question before we can kind of set up or plug in our values, but we'll have a formula to plug those in. Okay, so here an example would be, how can you find the percent that 25 is out of 50? Okay, now there's a couple key words in there that are going to kind of help us out. So the word is going to be a good one, and of. Okay, and the numbers that are attached to them are going to be in a certain place. So like in this case, 25 is, and of 50 are going to be critical values that we plug in. Okay, so I would say that this goes under the is category and the of category for them respectively. Now, where am I supposed to plug this in, you may ask? So our equation or our formula should be set up as a proportion, just like we did in the last learning target. But here on the left side, you have is divided by of equals percent over 100. Or percent divided by 100, sorry. And so the thing that we've identified as is here, that is where we'll put it on the top. And then the thing that we've determined is of, we'll put that on the bottom. Now, we still have a percent here. Now this time, we might actually have percentages in our formulas or our questions. So it might be solving for something other than the percent, unlike the last learning target, that's the only thing we ever solved for. So here your variable will move around, but the process of solving will still be the same. Okay, so let's start with number 1 here. So it says 23 is what percent of 28? Okay, so I like to kind of go through and identify what my different pieces are. So here 23 and is are together, so that's my is. And then of 28 is my of. Okay, now it also says what percent, right? So that part will be my percent or my x, because I don't know what it is, so I'm going to have to use a variable to represent it. So here for my equation, 23 is, that'll go right there. Of 28 will go right here. And then 100 is always on the bottom right, just like it was in the last one. And then percent will be my x, okay? So now we'll do what we've been doing. Cross multiply, so 2300. So 23 times x, and maybe I should show that. And then 28x, or 28 times x. 23 times 100 is 2300. Okay, and then I want to divide both sides by 28. Okay, and then here x should equal 82.1, and I rounded to the nearest tenth, so the first decimal place. Okay, let's move on to the next one. So here it says 60%. So here you're given a percent, right? Of what number? And maybe I should use a different color there. Of what number? So this is the of part right there. And we're going to use x for it. And then is 9. So that's your is part, okay? So write my proportion. So the is goes on top, divided by the of, which is x, which equals the percent, which is 60 in this case, and then divided by 100. Okay, then here I want to cross multiply. Okay, so 9 times 100, 60 times x, 9 times 100 is 900, and then I want to divide both sides by 60. Okay, here 900 divided by 60 is an even number, which is 15. So 9 so 60% of 15 is 9. That would be how you would complete that. Next one. Now here's a little context in this one. So what quiz score is 90% of a 45-point quiz? So what quiz score is, that's your is. We don't know what it is, so it's a variable. There's your percent, which is 90%. And then of a 45% quiz, or 45-point quiz, there's your of. So making your equation. So is on the top divided by the of, which is 45, equals the percent on the top on the right, which is 90, divided by 100. So then now I want to cross multiply. X times 100 is 100x. 45 times 90, which is 4,005 or 4,050. Then I want to divide both sides by 100. Then that actually gets me 40.5. So that would be that answer. Okay. Next one. What percent? So there's your percent. I don't know what it is. So it's x of 80. So there's your of. Is 26. There's your is. So is divided by of equals the percent, which is x, divided by 100. Okay, same process. So 26 times 100 equals 80 times x. 26 times 100 is 2600. Divide both sides by 80. And then that gets me 32.5%. Notice that I'm attaching a label to the percentages here. The other numbers don't really have one. Well, I guess if we go back real quick. Number 3 actually kind of did have one because we were looking at a quiz score, so we would say points. Okay, so you can kind of add that in. Then the last one here, so what is, so there's your is, I don't know what it is, it's a variable. Then 60%, so there's your percent of 20, so there's your of. So is on the top there. I don't know what it is, so I'll use a variable. So divided by the of, which is 20, equals 60, which is the percent, divided by 100. Okay. So now I want to cross multiply. So x times 100 gets me 100x. 20 times 60, that is actually 1200. And here I want to divide by 100. So x will equal 12. Okay, and that's kind of the whole process. So still using proportions here, but you want to locate where those values or those words are located to kind of help you set it up and put it into the proportion. Okay, Have fun.